Day 22 falls on 9/11. I remember that day so clearly, and before I start exercising, I want to tell you a little bit about it. We all know where we were, September 11th, 2001. I was off work that day. I never turn on the television before 10 or 11, but that morning I turned it on early. It must have been around 8:43 a.m. I walked in the kitchen to grab some water and went back to the living room. I stared at the TV, not quite sure what I was watching. I saw two anchors with the Twin Towers behind them and thought, that is a beautiful backdrop. I saw the first plane hit, the North Tower. My brain switched from morning talk show to movie. What movie is playing on the TV right now? This is awful. Then I realized it was live television. We stood there with our mouths wide open, thinking, what just happened? A mere 17 minutes later, a second plane hit, and my heart hit my stomach, knowing neither was an accident. We watched as they talked about the Pentagon being hit and U.S. airspace being closed down. We were absolutely glued to the television that day. There are so many things that I could recall about that day, but what I remember the most is it didn't matter what the color of someone's skin was. It didn't matter what their political or religious beliefs were. We were all united. Today, I sit back and reflect on the events of that day as well as the day that followed. I am so thankful for the courageous acts of strangers willing to help dig out the fallen. Today is a day of remembrance. I plead with all of you, be kind today. Focus on compassion and being with the people you love. Typically, I do a 10-minute workout. To remember all of those that fell on 9/11, I'm going to do an 11-minute workout. As you've just seen, today is a day for reflection, and I'm going to do 11 minutes on day 22, and I'm wearing my Washington, D.C. shirt, and let's do this thing, okay? Got my leggings today. I think I've exercised my bra zipper down. My break. I have to make my break at 6 minutes so I can fix that. 6 minutes down, I'm at 0.3 miles. I am going to go 11 because the way I look at it, if firefighters and cops and military personnel and people that didn't even know people would run into a building that had been struck by planes to help save them, then the least I can do is go 11 minutes. Hear what I'm saying? "10 minutes, half a mile. The last minute is for all those brave passengers on Flight 93 that fought the hijackers to take control of the plane." 11 minutes. 0.55 miles. Now in terms of miles, that is the furthest I've gone. But considering I went an extra minute, what I'm going to do now is that was 11 part of 9/11. Now I'm going to do the 9 part of 9/11. I'm going to put my resistance on a resistance I've never done. I'm going to bump it up to 9. And I'm going to do that for my cool down. It's just the resistance. The incline would be way too much. Whenever I think about the events of 9/11, in most ways it makes me really, really sad. I feel sad for the families that didn't get to say goodbye to their loved ones. I feel sad for all of the babies that were yet to be born, that never got to meet their father. However, I also feel a real sense of pride knowing how America came together to be united as one on the days that followed the tragic events of 9/11. When I struggle with the events that are going on in 2020, I think back on the days that followed 9/11 and am reminded that humans are better than the media wants us to believe that they are. Alright. I guess I'll get off my soapbox now. Alright, 15 minutes and 26 seconds on the machine, 836 steps. My average was 139 for BPM and 158 was my max. I burned 104 calories and my arms, the reason why I say my arms is because the Fitbit really calculates when you're walking, and so it calculates that. Well, it's only getting this. So my elliptical machine tells me one thing, 0.55 miles, and my Fitbit tells me something else, 0.3 miles. So that's why I say that. Active zone minutes, 28 zone minutes. And 26 of those were in cardio and peak. And one day I can explain zone minutes in more detail as well. I'm sorry. I know I keep looking at myself in the monitor instead of at the camera. I'm sorry. It's at a different angle and I'm having to get used to where it is. And so anyway, I hope you appreciated the video that I put out today to honor the events that happened in the United States on 9/11 in 2001. They say never forget, but for those of us that remember, we can't forget.